I want to take a quick moment to clarify some things that were said on social media the other day, and I actually bring a little bit more attention to the subject matter, as context has lost quite a bit in online discourse, especially on Twitter. So I recently took to X or Twitter or whatever you want to call the platform, and I knew what I was commenting on and sharing would have blowback. So let me give you a little backstory. I felt like over the past year or so, I was slowly drifting apart from a community that I'd come to know and love. Now, this doesn't mean that I've abandoned all hope, that I trust no one, and wish the worst on those of whom I previously felt kinship. Far from it, actually. I've gained a lot of perspective by engaging with people who hold opposing views. And if you engage in my content or watch my content now, you know exactly what I mean. I noticed that inundating myself with opinions that only assuaged my personal bias were making me more and more radical. So understanding my opposition standpoints went a long way in productive discussions with them. So that's the short version. Flash forward to a cool afternoon in September, browsing Twitter, I noticed a popular creator who is famous for pushing the lines of free speech. Now, I've been keeping an eye on the things that they've said and just sort of watching how it all folds. And before you guys type up comments I know that are coming, I'll save you some time. Melanie and all who wish to engage in such speech are free to do so. I don't care. However, this also means they're open to criticism. Further, this has less to do with Melanie herself and more with how creators in fandoms have adopted the idea of celebrating the title of bigot. Again, before the keyboard warriors go full torque, I'll say this. I understand many of these detractors, the ones throwing the bigot slur, are projecting and mislabeling for points with their own audience. I understand that. But I'm starting to believe that the bigots, quote unquote, are doing more harm than good for fandom spaces. We're moving farther and farther from legitimate, well-articulated criticism into shock jock content catered to the lowest common denominator. To that end, we are, or rather can be, better. Honestly, we've always been better. We are the groups who dedicated our lives to fan spaces when others endlessly ridiculed us for enjoying things like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever your favorite IP was or may be. And because this is the internet and everybody needs their say, I also need to point out that those operating under the bigot moniker aren't my mortal enemies. Far from it, actually. I continue to engage with people who use this, as cringe as it may be, and many still make content I enjoy, but my position stands. It will eventually do more harm than good to the spaces we hold so dear. It's systematically discrediting us. Yes, us, the ones who have actually put in decades consuming some of the best stories ever told. That is why, at times, it seems that these corporate shills and ideologues have the upper hand. Now again, this isn't a call to deplatform, unsubscribe, unfollow Melanie or any other creator, but a call for introspection, a call to understand what people are disgusted with, what people are rightfully disgusted with. Polite society doesn't accept or celebrate this nonsense, not to mention Melanie's Christian ideals, which I won't focus on, but it seems antithetical to that as well. I'm tired, and it's obvious many others are tired. If you go through this thread, there's many people who are in agreement with me. Now, I don't need a bunch of people to be in agreement with me. My feelings are the same on this, but the constant rage bait, one-trick ponies out there that masquerade as free speech champions, but the moment they receive any legitimate criticism, the person is a lefty, millennial snowflake. I can assure you that I have read most of the comments on my original post, and most are funny. Funny in that people think they are being perceived as dunking on me or even being offensive, when it's obvious you need to be seen and acknowledged by your sacred cow. I grow tired of having to swallow hard as these highly influential people continue to engage in hateful discourse and pat each other on the back while doing it. I grow tired of the lack of introspection on the part of people in general. It's a skill we've been lacking for many, many years now. I understand everyone wants their online points and follower numbers to increase and their favorite creator to notice them. But to what end? At what point is it the blind leading the blind? At what point have we become the very thing we pledged to fight against? I wish nothing but all the success for the people who spend countless hours on their content, but my wish is that we find a way through the rage bait, shock jock content we've popularized. It's time to take a rational approach again, and reciting the same tired joke over and over is not the way. I'm tired. The audience is tired.